Hi guys, and welcome back to another Cities Skylines inspiration video. This one's going to be fairly short, and we're not going to be doing too much building this one purely because I'm feeling a little bit under the weather right now. And I just wanted to get something out for you guys this weekend, just so you have something to watch. Because it's not going to be too busy this weekend, unfortunately. I am not feeling great. But I just wanted to cover today on this week's inspiration video of how you can use kind of props and a lot of stuff from the Park Life expansion to decorate those empty green areas in your city that you wouldn't otherwise put anything in. So we're just going to cover a few examples of what I've done in the Let's Play city here, and then we're going ahead and jump in and make one in the city to see how they can kind of really make a difference to what would otherwise be a dead green area. So right here we have some paths going behind the houses in the commercial to separate the high street from the residential area. And I just placed in this little food stand with a lamp and a couple of tables and flanked by some bushes. So these are really kind of cute little things you can build to fill out these little empty green spaces that you get as you build. You can see, you've got some, maybe here where you have kind of almost like a no man's land, and it can really break the city up and kind of take away from the immersion factor if you have a lot of these spaces in and around your city. So this is what I built here. This is just some of the Park Life stuff. You have the food stand. And then also using fences to decorate your city and kind of fill in those empty areas can be really nice. Like we have this big tram road here. Now rather than just filling this with more commercial as it comes down from what is a relatively high density part of town, we have our tram park here where there's a lot of people coming and going. There's parks and schools, so there's a lot of reason for Sims to travel to this part of the city. And rather than just keeping that, continual generic commercial street going all the way down, we decided just to border the park here with a big line of fencing all the way down this road. So you can see it's on either side. It's just using the Park Life fence that comes in, and then it comes in and around the path here as well, which makes it look really nice. It flows around the corner. And just something like that can really help, help your city stand out a little bit, just so it's not constant buildings and constant zoning. And then you're also going to save yourself some traffic issues as well when there's no reason for people to stop along this street. They're just straight through and then over the bridge into the other downtown area. Now you can do this functionally as well. So over here on the other side of the road, we have kind of a little gated community centre that we still need to finish off with some trees in this area too. But you can see here, we have a little bit of a school and I think this is a yoga garden or one of the Japanese kind of Zen garden buildings. And then we have some residential along here as well. And then rather than just having more residential here, we just used the fence to break up this kind of like, it's a private gated community. You have to almost like enter a code to get through the gate into this residential part. We have some paths coming through. See there, so it kind of like mirrors itself as the road comes into this little residential estate that we've got going on here. This is kind of like a little rich area part of town. And then you see the fence just goes up there as well. And then we also have over in the newest part of town that we built, which is over here. So where we have our park here, amongst our new high density project that we're working on at the moment, we just put in this little tram roundabout so trams can interchange on different lines and drop people off. Now rather than just leaving this as an empty green space, we kind of tried to make a little bit of a pattern. Now granted, obviously we're playing vanilla, so I don't have the prop snapping mod on, and I'm pretty sure console does get prop snapping. I can't remember exactly if they do. It might be a mod for them too. But you can kind of see how you can make a little pattern using some of the flower beds and a couple of different kinds of trees, just to really help. It stands out. I think it's quite nice. Maybe you guys can just kind of take a little bit of inspiration from that of how you can use. I mean, obviously this is totally not functional. This doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't increase land value or make Sims happy or kind of anything like that. It's just really for cosmetic purposes. But they can really help make a big difference into your city. Now over on the parks as well, we did kind of some similar stuff over here. You know, we place this kind of big shady tree where people can come and rest in the sun. And there's a little bin or a trash can and a bench and a light and a signpost and a flower bed. So rather than just having like empty spaces all the way around your paths, just throw in the occasional little spot of detail, because it can really help make the difference to the kind of the overall feel of the city, and just, you know, how much detail you can pack into such a small space. And then again over here, we've just used some kind of paths and bushes to detail this little downtowny kind of tram interchange park that we've got going on here. We've used some of the general vanilla assets of the rocks and the bushes to decorate around the metro station, and also along the tram stops as well. You see this right here, this place where you have these empty green lots, this would be a prime example to go and do something like this. But I picked out a spot today where I want to go ahead and work on something like this. So over in our residential area, which was worked on like all the way back in episode 3 or 4, maybe 5 of our Cities Let's Play, we create this little spot here. Now this area is kind of barren. There's nothing here. Like, there's one house. The land here is too steep to zone for housing, so you get some really weird shaped land generation if you zone there. So rather than doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of draw in a new little detailed park district here. Now, it's not going to be an actual park zone from the Park Life DLC. And you could actually place in some of the vanilla kind of park assets yourself if you wanted to. Really is up to you. So we're just going to connect people up. And we'll have one here as well. So what I'm going to do now is I want to plan where I want to put my props. So we're going to come out in a little kind of arc here, if I can get it to fit. There, just something like that. So kind of another feature that sticks out from the main path. So let's jump into our city park stuff and scroll towards the end, and let's grab some props. So I'm thinking I'm going to pick a main theme here. I'm going to have a tree. And I think we're going to use one of these big shady guys. So they have, obviously, it's one of the chunkier trees in the game. And then I'm going to place a park bench just along the side. And then maybe a couple of picnic tables as well. And a trash can in the middle of them. And then maybe we can make some kind of border with the flower beds. Just spin these guys around. You hold right click on your mouse and then move the mouse with the PC version. I'm not too sure about the console versions, but you guys will probably know if you play on console. Okay, so I've got a nice little kind of border of flower beds right now. And then I'm thinking maybe... So this guy can open up his own little food stand. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off dynamic weather right now because the rain makes it look really weird. See, it's all shiny. Okay, and now I want some... maybe a little bush or two around the back of this guy's food kiosk. Maybe one there. And then maybe some into the park entrance as well. And you guys can be as patient or as quick with this as you like. Let's pop back and see what else we've got in. So we also have a sandbox as well. Maybe we can get this in. No, I don't like that over there. Maybe a cannon. Maybe this is kind of like a wartime memorial park. And then maybe you just want a little bit of colour. And just plot these in. And you can, obviously, you know, with that prop snapping on, the way the props come together can look kind of ugly. Like if you're looking along this kind of flower bed ridge right now, it isn't the smoothest kind of thing. But you can cover those up with different kinds of trees and whatnot. And already, if you're looking along the side of the roundabout, this area already looks so much more interesting. It looks like there's something going on here. But just remember, you'll never see Sims sitting in these benches, or sitting on the bench, or buying food from the kiosk. In fact, there'll never be anybody in the kiosk. But that doesn't really matter. You know, it's really just for aesthetic purposes. And then maybe we can make kind of a bit of a grander feel out of this path. Let's go ahead and grab, I think maybe some of the smaller trees. Maybe these guys. And then just try your hardest to keep in line with the path. And then you can bring that as close as the house as you can get it. Now from the bird's eye view this will look pretty weird, but when you look down it from almost like a Sims perspective, this will just look so much more interesting. And again, we'll do kind of a bird's eye view of the whole thing when we finish putting these things in. So you'll just follow the path as roughly as we can. So already you've got so much more shape there. Now think about what would be in these areas. So right now these are kind of like really cliffy areas and they don't get kind of any people walking over them. So at least in my opinion, they would be quite overgrown. You know, you would have a lot of kind of shrubbery along here as well. Let's change it up right now. Let's try to drop some of this stuff in. So you know, no one walks here. It's rocky. It's overgrown. So I think that's all right so far. I think, and then again, we'll do the same here. You know, no one walks behind these houses and behind the trees, and then probably up until about there. So already you have something that looks so much more interesting, and I think we can go ahead and even grab another path from here as well. Unlock that on there, and then we can carry on with our kind of little bush border that we've got going on. And then we can bring this down to the street. If you want to take your time and really time your clicks so everything is perfectly spaced, feel free to do that. But for right now, just so you can get the general idea of things. So let's just take a little tour. So from the top of here now, along these houses, you have this self-made park. It isn't functional, but it just already makes this area look so much more interesting. I think if you can duplicate this throughout the entire estate, kind of how we've done here, you know, we have one of the vanilla park assets. So this is the small park that comes with the game. So this thing is located in here. It's somewhere, this one, small park. So that's just that one. And then we placed it and expanded the roads with the same gravel paths. And placed some trees around them too. So I hope that helps, guys. I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of inspiration. You know, if you have a lot of these dead areas and you're like, oh, what can I do with these? We've got people milling around in here now as well. You know, you have these dead, empty green spaces, and you're like, oh, it just looks so ugly, and it breaks my kind of residential pattern. You know, then feel free to go ahead and just plop something like this in to really help brighten up the area. I hope you found it useful, and if you have any suggestions or would like to recommend something for our inspiration series or tutorials, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always happy to help you guys with the things that you need helping with to the best of my ability that I can help you anyway. Thanks very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, a like is very much appreciated, and equally as much if you don't like these inspirational tutorial kind of videos, feel free to leave a dislike too. But otherwise, guys, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.